Public Information Officer of the part of the city's Albuquerque Community Safety Department. So thank you to all of you for joining us today. So we come together today after a week that reminds us just how urgent it is to support our teens with safety, mentorship, and opportunity. The challenges are real, but the city is committed to our youth, especially the teens. Today, we're here to announce Teen Connect. The program is building safe spaces, providing real support, and showing up for our youth when it matters most. So we're going to have a group of speakers here today, and to kick things off will be Mayor Tim Keller.
Okay, well, thanks so much. And I want to start actually with just a little bit of background. Tomorrow's the State of the City, which is a wonderful occasion that happens regularly, more or less every year at the city. And this is a little bit of a preview because we're going to be rolling out these initiatives throughout the fall. And this is a key component of what we're announcing tomorrow. But as we usually do, we usually pick one thing to talk about early. Now, we also wanted to discuss this because even though we've been planning this now for about a month and a half, of course, what happened this week with the guns in our schools is a salient reminder, as Jorge said, that we just have to do all we can. Now, these efforts are really about keeping teens engaged, active, in a supportive peer group, and out of trouble. That's what this is about. But obviously, we understand the more salient issue, right, with a gun in a school. So just want to explain what we're talking about today, and of course, obviously, you can ask whatever questions you want to ask. But okay. So let's dive into the substance of this, and basically, in short, what we want to do at the city is we're going to take 3 programs that we know work, and we're going to raise them up next level for our teens. And we know that we have challenges throughout our school system, but we also know that from the city perspective, we're here to partner with APS, partner with the county, and all the other people who work with our kids each and every day. So this is just about what the city is going to try and do to elevate our work, to help teens, keep them engaged, and keep them also out of trouble. I also want to mention that what we're going to talk about today is, again, building on the work that all these institutions have been doing together. So in no particular order, what I want to start with is our school-based intervention program. A lot of you have heard of SBVIP, but this is violence intervention in our high schools. We have this in 3 schools right now with APS, and we're expanding actually to Del Norte this year. And so we should have this program in every high school. And so APS and us are very interested in continuing to advocate for funding to make sure that we have this program in every high school, because now we know it works. We were asked to pilot this program in 3 high schools, and the results are that of the kids that are in the program, 80% of them, more or less, their grades go up. And also the likelihood of them to commit another juvenile crime is down 80%. So it is working at both ends of that problem. That's why we want to see it in every high school. It's also why we're grateful it's going to be coming to Del Norte High School as well. Now, the second initiative that we're working on really has, again, to do expanding what is working. This was now the 2nd year of the Summer of Nonviolence. And the Summer of Nonviolence is a wonderful partnership with the county and a lot of city departments. And it does a range of things, of activities for kids, so that they have a peer group that is committed to nonviolence, so that they have mentorship from folks who've had tough experiences in high school, but can teach kids how to deal with that in a nonviolent way. It also has to do with alternative dispute resolution, and it also has to do with fun. It is things like teen night at our city pools, teen night movie nights at our parks that have had thousands of teens now attend them. These have become wildly popular in a good way, and they're much more impactful than the old dance, it's a teen thing, which I was a part of when I was a teen, because I used to work at the beach water park. Anyway, the new version of this is the Summer of Nonviolence, but we want to make this the year of nonviolence for our teens. So we're going to build up for 2026 to try and have these kinds of engagement, these kinds of programming around year-round. And lastly, these are run by teens. So we don't let the adults decide what is fun or cool or makes sense. We actually have teens who lead this program, and that's been core to its success. So we want to have the Summer of Nonviolence become the year of nonviolence, really starting in 2026. Now, the last thing that we're talking about is our support for something that APS has already announced, but is very important for us to remember. This is the Career Academies. This is a program that is now launching in 3 high schools, but is going to be in every high school, and it's in cooperation with the United Way. And it basically finds a career path for every kid in APS. And that path might differ depending on the high school, but it's based on what our state and city workforce needs are. So this is the Career Academy program that Nashville has been successful with, that the United Way and the Ford Foundation are helping with. And it basically allows kids to use the elective system to pick a track all the way from freshman year all the way to graduation that is about an elective class, then it's about externships, and then it's about internships. And the city is going to step up and hopefully offer 1,000 internships at the city through this program. So those are the 3 ways in which we're ramping up, but that's in addition to what we're trying to do to just make our city more child-friendly. We're going to hear more about this from our city councilor, Clarissa Pena, in just a moment. So with more on each one of these initiatives, let's bring up our YFS Division Coordinator, Kristen Chavez-Smith. Kristen? Good to see you. Happy end of summer.
Yeah.
Now you have to do it year-round.
Yeah, exactly. We already do. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Chavez-Smith. I'm a division manager with Youth and Family Services Department. Here to talk a little bit about how we engage our teens currently. As you heard, we have a lot of great stuff going on for teens already in the city of Albuquerque. From esports to fitness rooms, community centers, art classes. We have great city programming for our teens. But the number one way that we actually engage teens to be connected to their community and be connected to the city is through youth employment. So our youth employment, just last summer alone, the city of Albuquerque hired 1,090 young people to work in our programs. These are rec leaders, they're lifeguards, they're cashiers, they're doing maintenance work, they're working in our open space. So that added up to a total of $2.7 million in wages just spent in 2 months over the summer. We employ young people year-round, though. Our numbers do go down during the school year, obviously, just because programs shift, but there are youth employment opportunities the whole year. And really what we like to focus on is that this is not just a job. We give these young people training for skills for their job, but for their life and for their future career. These are robust trainings, everything from life-saving skills for lifeguards and our rec leaders who all take CPR and first aid, but we also teach them child development. We teach them restorative practices and how to engage with the kids in their community and their own community members. So what we're really doing is we want to train that next generation of leaders. We hear it a lot with Gen Z, right? That they're lazy or they don't want to work or they're not engaged. That is not at all what we found through youth employment. What we found is that young people want to have meaningful connections to what they're doing. And these jobs that we give them give that meaningful connection. It's not just a paycheck, right? We are giving them skills, but we are telling them that they have a direct impact to their community. They can make their city better, and they can help to overcome the challenges that we see every day on the news, read on our newspapers. They're actually making a real impact. And so we just have to be we're just so proud of our young employees. And the best part of this is that we're always hiring. So we got to do a plug here for cabq.gov/jobs. We're hiring in after-school programs at pools year-round, and so we'd love to have even more young people come in and be engaged with our employment opportunities. Yeah.
All right. So, and part of the One Albuquerque effort on this is also our community safety department. So let's bring up our director, Jody Escobar.
Thank you, Mayor. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jody Esquivel. I'm the Director for Albuquerque Community Safety. For those that may not know, ACS also responds in different ways for the community. So not just behavioral health emergencies and in the 911 capacity. We also have our Summer of Nonviolence programming that Mayor talked about, but really importantly, we have our school-based program that Mayor also talked about, our school-based violence intervention team. I want to talk about this just a little bit. We have a very powerful team. Lene is our leader in that area. Jasmine is the deputy over that house, and it is intensive, emotional, connecting services to the community, and I think it's really important. And so those school-based programs, we have actual intervention specialists in each of the high schools that we're located in, and they have a class period where they can just come and talk to our intervention specialists. We can help with homework, we can talk about resume building, we can talk about those life skills that we were talking about in this One Albuquerque effort, preparing our youth to stay engaged and also be prepared for the future. And I think that this also hits very close to my heart. I grew up here in Albuquerque. I would have benefited from a school-based violence intervention program. I'm going to be really honest. I know that being connected is really hard sometimes, and we have these intervention specialists that really get to the root problem of what's going on. So if grades are falling, you're bringing drugs to school, you're fighting on campus, there might be something else going on here. And our intervention specialists are able to dig a little bit deeper and provide those resources to the families. Maybe they don't have food at home. Maybe it's the grandparents that are taking care of the kids, and the parents are somewhere else. Something that we can all relate to kind of in this area, in this demographic. And so I think really peeling back the layers of our community and showing our kids, our youth, that we're here for them in this programming is so amazing. In true ACS fashion, we've evolved the youth outreach outside of just the school-based program, and so we understand that there's a lot of cracks in any system, and so we didn't want to lose any of the students that might have been expelled from APS or not working or didn't go to school, and we didn't want to get caught in the loopholes of that. So we've created a specialized team that can create and engage with the youth that might not be in school right now. And so we're finding great success in peeling back the layers in that demographic as well. We're really passionate about this work, and there's so many resources that everybody's talking about today. I'm so thankful for these programmings for this community, and we're really excited about the Year of Nonviolence. We've had a successful summer, and it's really creating that community and showing our community that violence isn't the way. When we all hang out and watch a movie for a couple hours at the Balloon Fiesta Park together as a community, eating, sharing a meal, laughing, joking, and having a good time, it shows and it feels very community driven, and I'm really thankful to be part of this initiative. I'm thankful for our team, everybody running forward with ACS right now. I'm so thankful for everybody, and I'm thankful for Mayor for giving us the space to connect with our community in this way.
Thanks, Jody. Okay, and now our local city councilor is kind enough to join us, and so she's been working on these issues for a long time, but especially recently on all things child friendly. So come on up while the truck, but we'll wait for the truck to go by. These streets are nicely paved. I know. Is it going? It's the classic with the cicadas too. Anyway, Counselor, come on up.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear whether you had introduced me or not. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you guys for being here in the Alamosa community. I think this is the best neighborhood in the city of Albuquerque. So I'm always happy to see when the mayor and all his staff are here. I just want to say that, you know, the city of Albuquerque is doing some incredible work. You heard everybody in terms of ACS. Here at the community centers, we have Marvin here, who for years has been doing some incredible work with our youth in the community. You know, when we're talking about some of what's happening in the world today, and here more particularly in Albuquerque, this is where we need to start, right? We have the issues that we have, crime and homelessness that people are talking about. Well, we have to address the root causes, right, which I believe is substance abuse is really kind of the root causes that leads to the homelessness, leads to the crime. But more importantly, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of here overnight. And looking at our youth and focusing on our youth in the city is paramount. So I'm really glad about the programs we do. We also have the lowrider bike program. We started with we have some staff that's operating that here, but we started with just 8 students. We have 60 students that are involved. So I guess this would be a call from me to kids in the community. If you are having issues or there's something that you need to have addressed, there's the city, there's the county, and there's APS. And more in particularly, you should reach out to either city council, to the mayor's office, and then we can navigate you to where you need to be, because it's a hard time now. You know, I was just talking about it the other day of how I don't know how I would have been able to navigate the world that we have today. It's really difficult. You know, I have young grandchildren who are in mid-school, and you know, I've heard that there's things in schools that shouldn't be in school. And, you know, I don't know how we deal with that, but what we can do is to help. And we just passed, and this is kind of, you know, all the work we're already doing, but we just passed a child-friendly resolution to making the city a child-friendly city. And that's important because it's an effort to work with the city, county, and APS to find ways how we can support our kids in the community. So I just really want to, you know, thank the mayor, all the work they're doing with youth, which is something the cities don't necessarily do, but it's important that we do it this day and age. So thank you very much.
All right, Jorge, if you want to take some questions, we'll hang out in the shade.
Yeah, any questions from the media? Going once, going twice. So the last thing I wanted to share is just the website for Teen Connect. It's cabq.gov/teen-connect. So again, that's cabq.gov/teen/connect. Thank you all for coming out.